look, maybe game 2 there was some drama, but it's been really anticlimactic because of all of the injuries. But it could really start.
Right.
It could really start getting interesting now that they're down 2-1. I'm surprised that Clay didn't play last night. I thought he would.
I'm not. I didn't think he would.
Oh,
I'm not going to lie.
All right.
I did not think he would.
Okay.
Because if you go back to last year, again, with Chris Paul, these hamstrings, they ain't nothing to play with, man.
Yeah.
And if you are Coach Steve Kerr and the training staff, you understand that the player wants to play, But on the flip side, you also understand what's at stake. So you can rest Klay Thompson, where now he gets an extra 2 or 3 days of rest and an opportunity to recover. Or you can say, you know what, this game 3 is so critical that you have to go out there and play. But when you do play, we're risking the fact that we may lose you for the – I could not agree with Coach Steve Kerr training staff even more. You sit him out this game, give him a couple more days of rest, and now you bring him back for game 4, and hopefully he has recovered enough where he's good to go for the remainder of the series.
All right, so what do you think about KD? Does KD come back for game 4?
Woo! I don't – you know what's weird? And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. My thought from the beginning is I wonder if KD is a little bit more injured than what the Golden State Warriors are letting off. Than what they're putting out there. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I have no inside source. I'm not talking to anybody. But, right now we're rolling over to game 4. And in between game 4 and game 5, you're talking about a quick turnaround. In between game 5 and game 6, you're talking about a quick turnaround. So now you're talking about as soon as the game is over, you're back on the plane. You're back on the plane. You're flying back. So if you're injured, that's not good for you. So I don't know. That's a toughie. Do they sit Kevin Durant out another game? 4 and bring everybody back for game 5, game 6, and game 7 if necessary? That is such a tough call. But ultimately, it depends on how injured he really is, which none of us really know.
Yeah, that's what we don't. I mean, look, Steph did everything in his power last night to win that game. I mean, but they weren't just going to win. They couldn't win that game. No. Toronto did play well. I mean, they shot the ball really well, but the Warriors had no other answers. I mean, besides Steph taking the shot. He took 30 shots. And, I've never even heard of Alfonso McKinney or McKinney. I've never even heard of him. But he played 20 minutes. I mean, come on. They just had no shot, right?
Yeah, and you know what? With all due respect, this is why, and I understand this is a new NBA, but what you saw last night is why guys are via free agency and one another. Because you don't want to be in that position. That is like the game last night was a 90s game, before guys started teaming up with one another. Because last night it was all about Steph Curry. And your job as Steph Curry is to take all that offensive responsibility on your shoulders and lead your team to victory. So now what you see is you see guys that are joining up with other guys so they don't solely have that offensive responsibility on their shoulders every night. Can you imagine if that was the Golden State Warriors from game 1 through game 82 and into April and moving on? Can you imagine, like, the wear and tear on Steph Curry's body?
Right.
He needs Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala and some of these other guys. That's one of the reasons what you saw last night, why I feel like guys are going to join up with other guys.
Now, I said this earlier in the show, and it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I said that Warriors team last night wouldn't even make the playoffs. Now, they would make the playoffs because Steph and Green are so good, but that was a garbage roster last night, besides Curry. They need to get Klay back.
Right, they definitely need Klay back because you need the shooting. Yep. You need someone to space the floor. You are used to, from years ago, 4 or 5 years running, you are used to that backcourt, everything going the way that backcourt goes. And this could be Cousins was healthy. Because we forget last year he averaged 26, 13. He's not healthy now either. So not only are you without Kevin Durant, and you're without Kevon Looney, and you're without Klay Thompson, you don't have a 100% Boogie Cousins as well, because that changes things.
Oh,
you have a 100% all-star Boogie Cousins. Now you can play through him when Steph Curry's out the game. But the fact that he's still a little hobbled, hasn't got his explosives back, doesn't have his legs under him, that changes things.
Antonio, best guess, this is, looking forward a bit. Where does Kawhi Leonard end up next year? Does he stay a Raptor, or does he go out and test the market?
Just guessing alone.
Guess. Yep.
when this year started, this is the finals I picked. I picked Golden State in 6. And I've always said I felt like if Toronto made the finals or won the NBA championship, Kawhi Leonard would stay. So now I can't go back on that. It would be tough if I'm Kawhi Leonard to go this far with this team. You can see the potential of this team and what this team is capable of. I don't care who's healthy on the other side, but what they have accomplished this year. They were the best team in the Eastern Conference record-wise last year, and they got better. But not just adding Kawhi Leonard, but also adding Danny Green, and then adding Marc Gasol. They have the best backup point guard in the league in Van Vliet, so he has a lot of help. Most improved player in the league in Siakam. So if I'm Kawhi Leonard, do I want to go to another situation where I have to completely start over and in the Western Conference, or do I want to stay right here where I'm comfortable, where with him, he has shown what they can do alongside. Now they're up 2-1. Who knows from here? But regardless what happens from here, they were an ample opponent for the Golden State Warriors. So if I'm Kawhi Leonard, I am taking a hard look at staying in Toronto.